All right, cuckolds. As promised, here's the second video of the night. I had my little drink of water, and now I'm going to do a little bit of a preview, motherfucks, about AEW Full Gear. You understand what I'm saying there? We're going to do a little rundown of the card. I'm going to give my predictions and tell you why the match is going to either be awesome or why the match is going to perform a blow bang on itself. The latter is probably more likely because there's a lot of bullshit on this card. And then I'm going to just talk generally about the matches, I suppose, and about this event. But before I do that, I'm also going to look up AEW Full Gear tickets because I believe they still haven't sold out, and I'm curious to see what the prices are. I'm going to guess that an AEW Full Gear ticket, motherfuckers, is going to be cheap as shit, even if it is, there we go, from $30. The cheapest you can get is $30. That's half the price of ordering this garbage on pay-per-view. Now, I see here that there are different seats, but you can get a seat like ringside for $400 my ass. 95 bucks at section 112, which is one of the better sections. So this thing is not going to sell out. I predict, like, there's a ticket here, 95 bucks, section 112. I predict that's going to be about 30 bucks by tomorrow. So, because no one's buying that shit, man. So anyways, let's talk about the matches a little bit. Fuck faces. All right, first match we got. I'm going to go, I've listed them in order in my little document here, my Word document, in order of like how I think they'll be, or at least in order of importance. I'm sure the women's matches are going to be there somewhere. Like, they're not going to be in that order, but I've left the best for last, fuckers. That's what I'm trying to say. So first up, we have Joey Janela versus Shawn Spears, who everyone knows as Ty Dillinger. Now, this is the most meaningless thing I've ever seen in my life. This is the problem with AEW. This match could very well be on an episode of AEW Dark. Like, that's the level of match we have here. There's nothing about this match. There's no storyline. There's no rivalry, right? Shawn Spears had been buried completely for like a month. Now he comes back. That's a pay-per-view match. How come Darby Allin doesn't have a pay-per-view match? Not that I like the kid, but come on. He's been there consistently, busting his ass, throwing himself off turnbuckles with Cracker Barrel barrels up his ass crack. You understand what I'm saying? So what the fuck is that all about? Doesn't make any sense to me, kid. So that match is a complete waste of time. I know they had some sort of like on whatever, like the AEW like network or whatever the fuck, wherever they show that bullshit. Like, it was some backstage segment where like Tully Blanchard and Shawn Spears wanted to like pull Joey Janela's tongue out for like no reason whatsoever, but it is what it is. So that match is going to be complete garbage. Joey Janela, I like the kid. Shawn Spears, this guy he just sucks. So I don't know what he's going to bring to the table. I don't know why he's even in the company, if I'm being honest. So that match, I'm going to give it a premature 1 star, motherfuckers. 1 star. And next up, as I listed it here, we have Bea Priestley versus Britt Baker, which might be a dark match. I'm pretty sure they just had this match like 2 weeks ago. Or they had some variant of this match in like a tag team fashion, right? Obviously, Britt Baker's going to win with the little lockjaw submission, which I believe should be called the open wide, but I don't make the rules, fuckers. So there you have it. That match, hopefully it's going to be an opener, like a dark match, but I don't really see anything about this match that entices me. So that's what I have to say about that, fuck faces. It's going to suck ass, motherfuckers. I mean, I don't even know like what to say after this. I mean, like, it's either B or Bea Priestley. Who gives a rat's ass? Like, this is not like these are two broads that have never even been like. I don't even think that Britt Baker has had one match on like normal AEW. She may have had like one. These are like people that perform on AEW Dark almost exclusively, motherfuckers. So I don't know how anyone could be enticed by this. Do you really think do you think there's one person in the world that would not get this pay-per-view, right? That is going to get this pay-per-view because of this match, right? Like someone that thought to themselves, you know what? I wouldn't get this pay-per-view, but I'm sold because we're gonna see Bea Priestley versus Britt Baker. Not one person, motherfucker. I mean, like aside from maybe like Britt Baker and Bea Priestley's like friends and family. You know what I mean? So there you go. But that would be the case for anything. You get any just to get someone with a big family, get more pay-per-view buys. Think about it. At that point, that really makes the most sense. Fire Bea Priestley, right, and Britt Baker, and then hire two female wrestlers that have big families and just capitalize on the fact that their families are going to buy pay-per-views, because Bea Priestley and Britt Baker are not drawing one person to these shows. So just get rid of this completely. Next, we have Young Bucks versus the LAX. This is going to be a spot fest. It's part of this greater, inner circle versus the elite thing. So I don't know. This could be a good match. I mean, like only because LAX might do some cool things. The Young Bucks, they're not that exciting. Let's be honest. They're just spot monkeys. They don't do anything. So nothing to kill yourself over here. This feels like a match that they would easily have on any episode of AEW Dynamite, right? They had Young Bucks versus Lucha Brothers like 7,000 times, right? None of these teams are big enough to like justify this being a pay-per-view match. The fact that they think that they can charge $60 for this is preposterous, but I'll get to that later, motherfuckers. Don't think I've forgotten about the pricing of this. I mentioned a little bit of the tickets, but there's more I have to say about that. Next, we have Riho versus Emi Sakura. Now, let's keep this in mind. When AEW started, and they were obviously short on wrestlers, they had all these Japanese broads show up. When I automatically assumed that these girls were just placeholders, right? They were just there like, all right, they picked them up for some like Japanese women's promotion, right? Because they need bodies until they start establishing their own female wrestlers, which I still think that's what's happening. But until that happens, Riho is the AEW Women's Champion, and Emi Sakura is challenging her. This match is inconsequential. No one cares. Like, Riho is obviously going to win, but what's the point? Like, who cares if Riho doesn't win? If Emi Sakura was champion, they say nothing else would change. Like, Riho will never cut a promo. Emi Sakura will never cut a promo. So why would I give a shit if Riho or Emi Sakura are champions? I don't care at all. Just push Awesome Kong, make her the champion, and end it like that. Thus far, the matches that we have gone over: Joey Janela versus Shawn Spears, which I think Shawn Spears is 100% going to win. Riho versus Emi Sakura, we just talked about. Riho is going to 100% win, right? Young Bucks versus LAX. I think LAX is going to win, but the Young Bucks could win. So that's the only match that is not ultra predictable. And then Bea Priestley versus Britt Baker. Britt Baker is winning at 100%. So thus far, 3 out of 4 matches, in my opinion, are 100% predictable. Next, we have SCU versus Lucha Brothers versus Private Party. The only logical way to book this is SCU wins. Otherwise, what was the point of even putting the belts on them? It's completely meaningless. It's just foolish. Just start off with one strong champion. So this match, Private Party is cool. They have good chemistry with these teams, it seems. So, like with the Lucha Brothers, I think they wrestled them. I don't know who they lost to, but they lost to one of them, obviously. So, it's going to be like a decent spot festy type match, right? Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, they're all right. The Lucha Brothers, they're a little too spotty for my taste. So this will be like I'm sure Dave Meltzer would think this is like match of the year, match of the night, but I don't think it's going to be that great. I'm not looking forward to it, more importantly, so who gives a rat's ass, right? Then we have Hangman Page versus Pac. This match also absolutely zero build-up, zero storyline. The storyline is Pac beat him once, and Hangman now is pissed off. Why is he pissed off? You lost fair and square, kid. Who gives a shit? Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley. The match should have happened at the at the first pay-per-view or whatever, All Out or whatever, right? It didn't happen because why didn't it happen? I forget. Like Jon Moxley pulled out or something. Someone pulled out. I forgot. I don't remember why. But yeah. Long story short, this match is not. I'm not too enticed by it. I think it's gonna be like a fun match, only, but not because they're good wrestlers, but only because it's like a lights out, like unsanctioned type match which means that it's going to be brutal. Like, the one difference between Dean Ambrose and Jon Moxley is that because this company is a little bit different, the character of Jon Moxley can do some like creatively sadistic things, which are always fun in wrestling. But beyond that, I have to be enticed by characters and storylines, and this thing has neither, motherfuckers. So who cares about that? Then we have the main event. Although I heard that Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega might close the show, but then we have Jericho versus Cody. I have nothing to say about this garbage. Cody's going to win, obviously, because he's going to eventually be AEW champion. But the question is he going to win by pinfall or submission, or is he going to get a DQ win? I pray it's a DQ win. I completely see, unfortunately, MJF turning heel. It shouldn't happen, but I could see it happening. The way I would have booked it is Cody Rhodes turns heel on MJF, and then you create a star out of MJF if you wanted to do that. But let's be honest, guys. The people in charge here, Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, fucking Young Bucks, and to a lesser degree, Hangman Page. These guys are all on the card, right? And I get it. They're the ones that people want to see. Nobody really gives a rat's ass about Private Party. But come on, man. You know? Like, they're going to book themselves strong. Cody's obviously going to win. Hopefully he doesn't become champion. That's just, if he becomes champion, you can just start counting the days, motherfuckers. If Cody Rhodes becomes champion, start counting the days until this company inevitably folds. Now, the question becomes, people like Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, MJF, right? Awesome Kong, or Amazing Kong, whatever the fuck she's called now, right? Where are these people? Why are they not on the card? Why do I have to watch people like Ty Dillinger, who hasn't had a match in like forever, come in here and do what everyone accuses WWE people of doing, right? Ty Dillinger comes in, he gets a pay-per-view match. Meanwhile, fucking like the Best Friends, right? Or Jack Evans and like Angelico, these people that are like every week putting on good matches, you know, obviously by AEW standards, let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? These people don't get a spot in the card. Dark Order doesn't have a spot in the card so that Sean Spears can have a spot on the card? Are you fucking kidding me? That makes no sense, man. I don't like that, dog. You know what I'm saying? Thug? So anyways, I digress. Now, let me tell you a little bit about tomorrow, because this pay-per-view is tomorrow, right? On Saturday, I believe? Yeah. So, I have a friend. He is going to AEW Full Gear. He's going to go see it. Now, he's going with a bunch of his friends that I don't know. I know like one of them, right? But they're not like my friends. Like even my friend that's going is not like really like my friend. We're like more like wrestling friends. We hang out in some of the same places and we talk about wrestling once in a while. So, but he's a cool guy. So like I could go with him to this show, right? What I'm saying is I have the opportunity to go to this show. If I want to buy a ticket, right? I can buy a ticket. They're cheap as shit, as we just went over, right? I can go watch it with them. Now, aside from my friend, all of the other people that are going apparently are complete neckbeard nerds, right? And so I don't want to see it with these people, right? Even my friend, he's not a neckbeard, but he's like, you know, he likes Finn Balor. You know, he's one of those. So I have the opportunity to go and watch this, right? Like I can go and ride with them, pay like 1/5 of the gas, right? So it'll be cheap. We can come back within the night. Like there's so many ways that we can do it, right? But I refuse, right? Even though I have this opportunity, I have to do very little to make it happen, right? I have instead decided that tomorrow, my girlfriend was telling me how there's this group that she really likes. She's Brazilian, and this group is Brazilian, and they're performing in the United States, and she wanted to go. Now, I don't speak Portuguese yet. I don't know anything about this music, right? I don't drink. So I'm going to go to this concert, right, of a group that I've never heard of, where I'm not going to drink, and I'm not going to understand what these people are singing about. You understand? Do you see where I'm going with this? And despite all these three things, right, I would rather do this than go to AEW. Do you see what I'm saying? That's how bad Full Gear is going to be. It's going to be so bad that even a person like me, a legitimate fan of wrestling, like I've watched all the AEW shows, all the Dynamites, But I am not sold on this pay-per-view. I would rather pay money to see a concert, right? Just because it's a new experience of a group that I've never heard of, that speaks a different language from me, than watch wrestling, which is one of my favorite things in the world. That's how bad this is, fuckers. So before you decide to use a little remote and to order it and pay $59.99 to watch fucking like Neville and Ty Dillinger fighting like Dean Ambrose and Jericho, like how many of these people? Let me look at the card. Like once again, they pull it up right here and just see how many of these motherfuckers, like numerator denominator style, how many of them are former WWE guys. Okay, so and I mean like real ones. So we have Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega. That's 1 out of 2. Jericho and Cody, 3 out of 4. So in the 2 main matches, 3 out of the 4 of these guys are WWE guys, right? Then we have Young Bucks and LAX. They're not WWE guys. Pac, that's 4. Who else? Frankie Kazarian, but he's not a real WWE guy, but he was there for a while. And Shawn Spears and Tully Blanchard. So that's 6 of these people on this card are WWE guys. And they are part of all the important matches except arguably some of the tag matches, right? So the over-reliance on WWE jobbers does not go unnoticed, motherfuckers. That's why I would not want to pay any money to see this on like live or honestly even on pay-per-view, because this would be the equivalent of like 6 years ago going to like a WWE live show or going to see like Raw or something and showing up there early to watch the dark matches or to watch like, you know, like 205 Live. It's like that level of wrestling, right? These are like those people, except for Jon Moxley, who was like, you know, like a mid-carder. I won't even say an upper mid-carder. He was a fucking mid-carder, right? Jericho, of course, he's a legend, but I mean, he's also 50 years old. So what I'm saying is this. There is nothing to be excited about at Full Gear. The only possibility, the only chance that they have in order to make the show interesting is to have some sort of surprise, right? Like when the only way this can be saved is if like Cody wins the title and then the lights go off and then John Cena comes out and buries the entire roster. That's the only way the show will be anything but a D- show. This will go down, believe me, as a horrible, horrible show, and it will go down as the beginning of one of many downswings of AEW viewership. The views are going to be atrocious if Cody Rhodes becomes champion. Mark my words, motherfuckers. And with that being said, I will see you all, what's today, Friday? I will see you all at some, one way or another. I'm going to like find out what happened on AEW in detail, and I'm going to do a little review of it anyways. So, but that might not be tomorrow because I'm going to that concert, like I said. So, we'll see. Probably Sunday for sure. All right, fuckers. Thanks for watching, and go and fuck your own asses.